Hey there, welcome back to Reddit Dating, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. Now, let's get into the video.
Caught my cheating girlfriend in bed with AP in my house. Original story. So I am a 29-year-old guy and my girlfriend is 33. We have been together for 7 years in total. We recently talked about getting married and I had already proposed and we were already making plans for the marriage. I had the rings already too. Well, one day I was at work and I decided to come home early from work. I called my girl multiple times and no answer. A few texts and again no answer. I got kinda worried something happened to her, so I sped home. I called right before arriving and again no answer. I walked in the front door and I heard my nightmares coming from the master bedroom. I peeked through it in the door and it was confirmed she was cheating. I slowly crept away. I took my ring off and left it on the dinner table with the note I wrote that said, "I hope you had fun, here is your promise ring." I walked out and sat in my truck for about 5 minutes thinking. I turned the engine on and revved it as loud as I could for a few seconds just so she could hear I was around, and I just left. Since it was a Friday, I had weekends off. I called up my cousin and asked if I could spend the weekend at his house. He asked what happened, but I said I had to tell him in person. I got to his home. His mom and wife live with him, his mom is divorced, and I stayed in my truck and asked him to come out. I was crying and told him what happened. He gave me a brotherly hug and his wife and my aunt came out. They were confused as to why I was really upset, and my cousin explained what happened since I could barely talk. A while later I was receiving a lot of phone calls and texts from my girlfriend saying to come home, that she wanted to talk with me. My cousin's wife answered and said I was too busy and couldn't talk. The night came that day and I was just laying in bed all day. Then I got a message from one of my friends and she said she wanted to talk to me about what happened. I told her to promise me my girlfriend wouldn't be there and I believed her. I met her at a Mexican food place and she had ordered some food for both of us, but I couldn't eat and barely talk. We sat for a few minutes just talking about how I felt and she out of nowhere apologized. I asked why and she looked at the door and my girlfriend walked in. I tried to quickly walk back to my truck to drive off, but they both pulled me back and begged me to calm down. We sat in the parking lot and my girlfriend was just crying and saying how she was sorry and how she wanted to fix things, but I just looked around avoiding looking at her face and I stayed silent. She asked where I was staying and I just said with my cousin. She came to hug me, but I lightly pushed her off and left back to my cousin's place. At his house, we just chilled outside and we had a blunt so I could feel a little better and so I would be able to sleep. The next day my phone was bombarded with texts and missed phone calls, but I just ignored it again. My cousin said to feel free and stay as long as I needed, but I didn't want to invade his family and personal life, so I told him I would get a hotel, but he told me to stay in the second house on the property in which my aunt lived. I made sure it was okay with her, so I decided it was okay. I drove back home to get clothes and some personal items, and when I got there my girlfriend was there with her friend crying. I walked past them and ignored them and quickly left again. I went back to my cousin's and tried to get my mind off of it, but it was really hard, so I had another blunt to calm down. I really wish I had my mother, but she was gone, and my father, well, I never met him. My girlfriend showed up an hour later at my cousin's house. She tried to come to talk, but my family was trying to tell her to go away. I came out and decided to try and listen to what she had to say. I noticed she still had her ring on and told her who she was going to marry, and she started acting hysterical and crying like a baby. She tried to stick around, but I told her if she needed someone to go with her other man since he was so much better than me, and it was starting to get heated. My cousin's wife then said to calm down and she drove her back to my house. Lately, I have been sleeping at my cousin's/aunt's house, but now I'm lost. Any advice? That hit me harder than any punch I have ever taken. Edit. I have lost 20 pounds since and I'm not in shape anymore. Thanks for the helpful comments. I really appreciate it. Edit number 2, so I am transferring home ownership to her name. I really don't care about money. I have enough to do what I want to. In a little, I am going to go get all of my belongings. Will update what happens later. Edit number 3, I went to get my personal belongings from the house. She was there with some friends crying and one of her friends asked to please talk to her and to give her a chance. I said no. Again they tried to follow me. I threatened to call the cops and they sat me down to talk. Again she was crying and begging that she will do anything. I looked at my shoes the whole time. She tried to lift my face up to look at her, but I looked away, got up and left immediately. I drove back to my brother's place and I'm here now all over again. Honestly, I'm done. I feel like I just want to give up already at 4. She said she is moving out. So I am selling the house now, she is no longer keeping it. Now I'm just thinking about buying my next house. Edit 5. I'm going to stay at a hotel for now while I look for another home. I don't want to bug or disrupt my family's personal lives too much. Update. So the house is being sold. I moved out of my aunt's place and I bought myself a mini mansion. I got it for pretty cheap. I cut off all contact with my ex. That guy she cheated with got lost. He hasn't tried anything against me yet. I stopped drinking completely, but the benzos are still helping me and I am still using marijuana to help me. I am slowly but surely feeling bitter. I met this girl the other day who seems nice and like she is interested in me. No, I don't showboat, so she doesn't know I have a lot of money. Going back to my boxing gym helped me a lot and I am slowly gaining my muscles back and I finally started to eat a little bit of healthy food. I am slowly recovering and I hope I don't stumble down the road again. Story 2. Married for 16 years. He's been having an affair for 4. I, 38F, feel like I'm drowning. Every day. I'm not eating well. I'm not sleeping well. I'm just at the end of my rope with everything. I just need some support, I guess. We were that couple that everyone wanted to be. You know. Just happy and easy. Sure, we've had our share of issues. But our marriage was solid, in my mind. 9 days ago, he, 39M, comes home from dropping our son, 14M, off at work. It was our 18th anniversary of our blind date. He goes to the bedroom and just starts crying. Says that he is having an affair with his ex-manager at work. Says it's been on and off for 4 years. 4 years ago, I caught him sending messages to her through Facebook. They seemed to be bordering on flirting, so I asked him to shut it down. He said he did. He deleted Facebook and I thought that was it. Little did I know, over the past 4 years, I've had some off feelings. Nothing I could put my finger on, but every once in a while, I would get this panic feeling. I would point blank ask him, "You aren't having an affair, are you?" He would say no. Reassure me that he loved me and I would feel better. I feel so stupid now. Apparently, he has been working from home a lot more than he has let on. He has been going to hotels. Roughly every couple of months, more so in the beginning. They would meet before and after work. Several months ago, she left that job and moved to another. They continued to see each other. He even interviewed with her new company. He claims that he knows that it was wrong. He loves me. He says that it will never happen again. He said that he had tried to end things with her multiple times. But she would threaten him, saying that she would tell me or that she would cause issues at work. He says that she didn't mean anything to him. Said that they fought all the time and that he hates her. He is doing and saying all the right things. Being more affectionate than he ever has. Begging for forgiveness. Reading books about recovery after infidelity. He has found us a marriage counselor and wants to go to a weekend counseling retreat. I've never seen him this loving. He installed Life 360 on his phone. He has told me all of his passwords. He accounts for his location at all times. He states that he has ended the affair. Says sorry 20+ times a day. I'm just barely surviving. I go back and forth from wanted to try to reconcile to wanting a divorce and to just be done. I don't even know why I'm here. Just needed to get it all out, I guess. I've been reading all your stories. Thanks for being here. Edit, to clarify. I told her husband. I called him the day my husband told me about the affair. He was grateful that I told him. I don't know what they are doing with their marriage now.